One. All right. Welcome to the second TS Training Systems interview. I am joined by former CHS soccer player Jeff Schrumm. He's going to give us a couple of answers to some questions I gave him earlier on how he became successful in high school soccer and also college. Thank you, Jeff, for joining us.
It's my pleasure, Tommy.
I would say I know Jeff for a very long time, so this conversation should be pretty interesting. So we'll start with our first question. What was the best part of CHS soccer for you?
It'd definitely be the friends that you make, the guys that I met playing soccer at CHS. I'm still friends with them. Tommy's older brother, Richie, was the best man in my wedding, and I met him playing soccer. He's a convert from football, so the first time I really hung out with him was playing CHS soccer. With respect to the actual CHS and the team, I think Coach Bronco is definitely one of the top coaches. He's the best coach I've ever had, and what he taught us, back in the day. I still think about it when I'm playing now. So, take what he says and really listen to it and deploy it, and you'll be a much better player.
I remember going to college and playing there and being like, I can't believe this is how this guy coaches at this level. Like, it was like this guy's light years behind Coach Bronco. And had we had the kids that I played with at CHS, we could have given the kids, like some of the kids at the Keene State, like a run for the money, just because we were so much better at playing the game. It's like mind-boggling how he is good at like being on your side and getting you to like where you need to be, but also his technical ability is like light years ahead of everybody. So I agree 100% with that. All right. What advice would you give your freshman self?
A lot of things. But I think, on the field, I think it was try to be self-aware and identify your weaknesses. I think it's human nature to kind of just stick with what you're good at. I was always pretty weak with my left foot. And as much as Bronco tried to force me to play with my left, I was always just revert to my right, and to this day I still pretty weak.
Oh, it's not on. I got to go back to the right.
Yeah, exactly. And as you get to higher levels of playing soccer, the defenders identify that and will push you one way or the other based on what your favorite foot is. Yeah, there's probably a couple dozen goals that I've missed over the years because I couldn't strike it well with my left foot. So try to pick out what it doesn't necessarily have to be a skill, but if you're slow on a sprint, get to the track, or if you find yourself getting tired late in the game, go out and do distance runs, or if you keep getting knocked off the ball, go work with a trainer in the weight room and try to put on some muscle. So those things catch up with you, and over the years, there's definitely weaknesses that I wish I had identified early and worked on early. Be a much more rounded player.
I think that's definitely a crucial thing in terms of like when you're starting out, you're almost like, I've been playing this game since I was like 6 or whatever it is. And you just kind of coast by on your talent or your ability. And then once you get to that level, you really have to start to dig into like, all right, well, I know I'm not going to be able to compete with this kid over here based on some of the things I've seen. Like, what do I have to do to actually get better at that stuff and go attack it? Which is, I'm in the same boat. I was definitely at impression being like, I'm 110 pounds. This is going to work out well for me against like 117. All right. What's the difference between high school and college soccer?
On the field, it's definitely the pace of the game. It is much faster than high school soccer. You have to know what you're doing with the ball before it gets to you. I remember the first game that I played when I was a freshman. It was a scrimmage against Northeastern or something, and I think I touched the ball for 5 seconds the entire game because every time it got to me, I was a huge defender was on me, and that was a huge awakening. And the guys are much bigger too, so coming in as a freshman, you're going to be one of the smaller guys on the field. A lot of these guys are big 200-pound plus guys that are. Some of them are, 22, 23 years old.
Well, also note, hang on though, you're also a pretty big kid yourself. So for you saying this, it makes it kind of like, oh crap, what chance do I have?
I wasn't that big as a freshman. So, I mean, you're playing against, 6'3" Trinidadian guys that are run twice as fast as you. So no, I think that was definitely the biggest eye opener. Again, coming from being coached by Bronco, I think that helped tremendous amount. I didn't really appreciate it until I got on the field and was coached by some other coaches, just how much he actually taught us about movement and, on the ball, off the ball, etc. One of the other things off the field, I think it's just the time commitment. So, you're getting to school early and in the middle of August, you're training all summer. You get into season and you're traveling, and then, for us, we had spring season. So it's waking up at 5:30 in the morning and going out and practicing in the cold of spring. It wears on you, but you have to, again, it's the whole team mentality, and it's for the game. So as much as it can be difficult, I wouldn't take any of it back.
So that kind of leads us into the next one. What did you take away from playing soccer? Is there anything now that you're like, you know what, if had I not done that, maybe things would be different?
I think one of the difficult things is to, you're held to a higher standard when you play soccer in high school and in college. So, staying out of trouble is a big thing there. There's zero tolerance on the teams through the athletic department. So, you got to watch your step at every turn as you're, especially freshman year when a lot of guys are underage, you're hanging out with seniors and things of that nature. So, just be careful there. But I think from a takeaway perspective, looking back through the, 30 plus years of my soccer playing career.
You're not old.
Tommy knows we used to get out of work and go play indoor soccer. And that was like what I looked forward to every week. You can forget about your work day. You can forget about your relationships, or, now it's, you have responsibilities of a house and a family. You can, step onto the field, and for 90 minutes or however it is, you go out and have fun. And, all the guys that we've met over the years, whether it's college or after college, you play in these teams and you're meeting these guys from all over the place. We had a blast. And again, I miss those days.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. It's like there's two things that it kind of satisfies, right? You have that competitive edge, or that need to kind of go and compete, but at the same time, it also kind of brings out some the best qualities and hanging out with people and doing something together. And there's as right now, thinking about playing indoor soccer at 10 o'clock at night makes me almost absolutely miserable, but at the time that was the most fun we had during the week. So I can kind of get behind that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Last one, and this one actually is probably my favorite question. What was your favorite movie at the time when you're playing CHS soccer?
So we had two. It was Braveheart and Varsity Blues.
Oh my God.
So every pasta dinner, we would watch snips of both of those. We'd watch the fight scenes in Braveheart, and then a couple scenes in Varsity Blues.
So I remember the one of the pasta dinners, you guys were over and we watched The Matrix for the first time. And everyone was like, what just happened? And that was one of the pivotal moments where I was like, wow, we can use movies for pasta dinners to actually get guys together and have a good time. And then we started watching Braveheart. And I think the other one we used to watch all the time was American History X.
Oh, yeah. Well,
it's a little aggressive.
Yeah.
So awesome. Well, Jeff, I want to thank you for helping us out with this interview, and hopefully we can do it again and get more insight, dig into a little bit more of the stuff you and my brother did when you guys were younger.
I don't think you want to dig too deep.
I don't think so either. Thanks, Jeff.
All right. Take care.